Really? On episode 65?
Yeah.
65. And 15 minutes late. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Planet Xbox, episode 65. I am your host, the Best Bot Kid Smooth. And I apologize for the delayed shows. I mean, we missed a couple of episodes over the past week or two. But we should be back on a consistent schedule. Ryan McGarris is not here today. I know he's working. Merc has got something going on. So it's just us three tonight. So it's probably going to be a lot of chat interactions. Got a couple of things to talk about in regards to some final X018 predictions. This whole PUBG news, Frog. And so Addict got some RDR2 complaints that he's going to share with us. And then feel free to throw your questions in the chat or the super chat. And let's get the show on the road. Welcome to Planet Xbox 65. How are you doing?
This dude can't even say anything right.
Dude, I just had like a sneeze attack like moments before I hit broadcast.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, hold on. My headphones sound freaking weird. Hold on. Do I sound any different or like?
Nah, you sound straight to me.
All right. Everything just seems like very distant. But how you doing, Frog?
I'm doing pretty good. Been enjoying life. I can't complain. Been playing a little bit of Red Dead, a lot of Call of Duty. Been playing the Fallout beta, 76 beta. Getting ready for Tetris Effect to come out and Fallout. Those are my last two games I'm purchasing this year, and just really excited about this news coming down the pipeline for both Xbox and you know, the competitors. I think we got a lot of news we're going to see next year, and it's going to be explosive. I can't wait.
Awesome. Gaming Addict, man. What you been up to? It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been playing too much. I work night shift again, so when I come home, I've actually been watching an anime like literally every night for like 5 or 6 episodes and going to bed and waking up and doing it all over again. Red Dead.
Awesome. You know what? Big shout out to Frog Dope Gaming, because I was going through a lot and I wasn't able to get, like, you know, I didn't think I was going to be able to get Red Dead like day one between my move and all this other stuff. And Frog, you know, he sent us a surprise in the Planet Xbox chat with a screenshot of the Red Dead Redemption 2 digital code. So shout out to Frog, man, for hooking us up. I say us because me and Gaming Addict game share, and it was an awesome gesture. I mean, definitely this wasn't like, you know, presented to him to like do this, and he always does things. I hear stories about stuff like this happening with, you know, personal friends and everything. So it meant a lot, even though it's just a game. It did mean a lot, and I definitely appreciate you doing that, Frog. So just in case I didn't get to say a proper thank you.
Oh, that's no problem.
He was the reason that we experienced this game.
Yeah.
No, he gave it to us on a Friday. I was going to get it Monday, but like 2 days in gaming time, it might as well be like a generation.
Right. And you know, like, I don't do it because I expect anything. Usually, you know, I just listen to people, and like I always go with what my feeling in my heart is, you know, because I got a lot of friends out there. Like I can tell you, I bought 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Call of Duty, Black Ops 4. You know, I purchased 1, 2, 3 copies of Red Dead. 4 including you. And 3 copies of Fallout 76. You know, I'm a retired vet. I enjoy gaming. This is something that I cherish because it takes a lot of stress away from me. And, you know, I listen to people and I listen what they go through, and not everybody, you know, I don't do it. I honestly don't do it for anything back. I'm like, you know what? I can kind of like, you know, listen to people's stories, and I just heard what you guys are going through, and I was like, you know what? I've been there. You know, I've been that guy. And I was like, man, you guys are like, I feel like, you know, brothers. We game and we talk, and we don't always agree, but when it comes down to the end of the day, we like the same things and we have the same passion. So it's not about, you know, hey, can you guys do this for me? It's just like, I'm in a time where I can give, and it's a time of giving all the time to me, you know, to a certain extent.
Yeah, I mean, definitely appreciate it. Like I said, because it didn't have to be done, and I'm like, holy shit! Like,
it's definitely no problem.
But speaking of that,
I'm just happy you guys are getting to enjoy the game. You know, I have my gripes with it, but I'm just happy you guys are getting to enjoy it, especially since you guys.
Gripes with the game? That's
small gripes.
Still amazing.
Small gripes, small, very small gripes. The game is freaking phenomenal.
I wouldn't say mine are small, but
yeah, but you know what I really was interested to see is like, because I didn't get it on the Xbox One X, I got it on the PS4, and I'm playing on the Pro. So I was just, you know, more or less, the bigger thing to me was like, now we can all have a good conversation about it, you know, no matter where it's played. And I think this would be good, a great conversation to have. Because I heard, you know, Game Addict said, you know, he had some gripes about it. So I'm interested to see if they're the same as mine or if they're different because we're in two different consoles. I'm pretty much guessing they're the same.
Yeah, because he doesn't even have an X. He has a
yeah. So
S.
that's a good standpoint. Kids played it on the X. I've played it on the standard.
And I played it on the Pro.
And you played it on the Pro.
And my son's playing it. Yeah, he's playing it on his base PS4. So I've got to see it played everywhere. That's interesting. Good. Okay. Yeah.
So so let's start with that since it is a topic. Frogs, what are your I guess your gripes, your thoughts? Is it game of the year? Has it gave you that game of the year feel?
All right. Me and my son had a deep conversation about this, and I'm just gonna say it like this. My game of the year as it stands right now is still God of War, because God of War did something to me and it pulled me. That game pulled me in a way, and I've always been a huge God of War fan, but this God of War, that whole Kratos character, like I went to sleep, and I think I said this before, I went to sleep having dreams about the game, waking up wanting to play the game, just having thoughts about where can I go to get this. Like it was one of those games like you eat, sleep, and you know, dream God of War. That's how I felt. Red Dead is kind of like one of those games I pick up, I can sit there for an hour or two and play it, but I haven't got really totally invested and immersed in the characters. The world is gorgeous, but I'm not. I guess maybe the O'Driscolls and just the different gangs, but I'm not really immersed in the characters or the story as much. I just find myself maybe it's just I have open world fatigue a little bit, because I find myself never really doing the missions. I just go into the world and just do things. It's a great world just to be in and live in, and I just have fun more or less doing that.
It was funny as I was telling a kid that I was gonna have to uninstall the game because I ain't got shit done. Like at all. Like I'll be walking,
exactly.
I'll be horseback riding like across the country, and then like I'll end up going on a mass murder. Like I had someone bump into me on in a town. I killed everyone. Like I killed everyone.
See, that's the problem I'm having.
And when the marshals and all those whack ass people showed up, that's when you run, because you can't fight all of them. But then what's funny is when you have I love when you have a witness. And it's like, if he gets away, he's gonna report you. And I was like, dude, he's not getting away. Like,
no, you just kill him. You just kill him.
Yeah. So I had to I started it and then I put it down and I was like, I'm going to enjoy this. But the thing is, I didn't finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I was like, after I played like a couple hours into Red Dead, I was like, you know what? I don't want Assassin's Creed Odyssey to fall into my backlog. So I'm going to put I'm going to put Red Dead down. I'm going to finish Odyssey this week. And then I'm gonna start. Then I'm gonna dive into Red Dead, because the open world fatigue just does set in. But I couldn't. I didn't. I wanted to see how the game opened up, the way the game looks, visually impressive. The level of detail is crazy from what I experienced so far. But at the moment, I don't have any complaints. But and my only complaints about these games is these open world games is that at some point, sure, I think we've ran into a lot of games with and I complained about this argument, but I'm gonna a hypocrite, because too much content, I guess, can be a problem. And that's the thing is oh man, it's like I open up the game, I open up the map and see all the things you can do, and I'm like, this is gonna take a while. I honestly don't believe I'll beat Red Dead in this calendar year.
To be honest with you, I'm playing it now. I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. When I say I don't like, some of the controls on the game, that's not saying I don't like the game. I ain't like these other people that would just complain broken games. And I just keep the auto aim on. I just keep the auto aim on. I'm gonna be real with you, because At the end of the day, I'm not going to fight the system. I'm going to play the game the way they intended on me playing it. I'm not going to sit here and fight the system. I'm just not. I tried it a little bit with the auto aim off. It was not working out. It definitely was not designed for that. They just give you the option.
You know what? I'm just going to interject 1 second. I agree with you because you said you're not going to fight the system. I did the totally opposite. When I started playing the game, I changed the control scheme up because to like I think it was called shooter or something like that. Because I was like, man, why the hell am I running tapping X? This is garbage. Like I just didn't want to do that. So
I don't like that control. Yeah,
I changed it up to like you click the stick like a shooter because I was like, man, this is hard, but the controls still didn't feel as tight as I wanted it to be. So I agree with that. I do agree with that.
And it doesn't make it a bad game. It doesn't make it. This game is a 9 out of 10. Easy.
Hands down, yeah. Easy.
I don't understand where all these 10 out of. Here's the thing. I don't mind these 10 out of 10s. I hate when people give a 10 out of 10, and you don't see any negative feedback. And so you're saying that what you played of it, because what people get me fucked up is they say that a 10 out of 10 is a masterpiece. The way I see it, a 10 out of 10 is a developer that did everything he came to the table and did it all almost to perfection. And at the end of the day, regardless how you would go at it, they didn't do the controls to perfection. It can't be a 10 out of 10 game. Like that's the controls. If you keep it on an auto aim, it's definitely it's playable easy. If you take it off auto aim like BG, you're gonna have a really bad time. And BG's stubborn; he's not going away from it.
I understand what he's saying though. I mean, you should be able to do that. But without auto aim on, it's very hard. That control. It just feels like it's like my son, my oldest son is playing it. He said he's having no problem with the controls because he plays a lot of Rockstar games. He plays a lot of GTA. So for him, it was very pick up and play friendly and easy. For me, where I play Rockstar games here and there when they do come out, and then I put them down, I'm like, man, I got to learn this all over again.
Browse moves. I've never said I didn't like Rockstar games. I said their games are over exaggerated. I have like 3 days in GTA 5. I enjoy GTA 5. At the end of the day, that's a phenomenal game.
Hold on, when did Blandrew come in here?
Oh, he's been here a minute.
Hey, yo, Lord Addict just sent me the link. So I just popped in here.
Oh, what's up, Blandrew? Happy to see you here.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Good. We got to get you in a podcast where people don't team up on
you. Wait, you playing Red Dead, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No way would I play.
No, I didn't think he was playing it. I think I say he wasn't playing it yet. I mean,
not my type of thing.
There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's not a game for everybody. I definitely say that.
Yeah, especially if you don't like Western stuff. If you hate every Western movie ever made, this is probably not the game for you.
Tombstone is one of my favorite Westerns. I love that movie. I love the humor.
And the biggest thing that I want to, I mean, it is what it is, Rand. Keep in mind, I can unmod you and block you. But, at the end of the day, I think what Rockstar does, I think the best thing that they have going for them, I think God of War has great immersion. It's what made that game so amazing. Yes. But Red Dead is on a completely different immersion scale.
I agree.
When you're sitting there, you try to go over a river with a little bit of speed going to, you got to stop. You see the water splashing against the horse. It's got great sound effects, great water sounds. Like the whole game is just phenomenal. If they would have got the controls, this would be I really feel like this is the only game I've ever said that is the closest 10 out of 10 game I've ever played.
You said this is the closest 10 out of well, you said that by God of War or Red Dead?
Red Dead.
Oh, okay.
At the end of the day, God of War was good, but it had a lot more flaws than Red Dead does. I just enjoyed God of War more because it was probably nostalgia, 100% nostalgia. But at the end of the day, they reused the same boss like 18 times in God of War. We can't overlook that.
Well, there's a story behind that I actually read about, and it's pretty interesting behind that, the boss battles.
All kinds of stories they could.
Oh man, like they told the story. They said that if you think about and you think about how great God of War sold and how well received, they actually told the story that God of War, the boss battles, they actually admitted that they were kind of on a budget. They were on a scale because they didn't have enough money to really. So I think if that game was on a budget, imagine what they would have done.
Well,
if
every
they
game's
really,
on a budget. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it was on
that
a,
budget is bigger than the average budget, though.
right. I understand it, but I'm just saying,
the
like,
reason it was on a budget is all really, you know, people get what a budget's all fucked up when it comes to development. A budget's really about how many developers and how long they work on a game.
do you think? Let me ask you this question about Red Dead. Do you think that your mind frame may change a little bit when the multiplayer comes out? Because I'm not a big I'm not a big Grand Theft Auto 5 multiplayer guy. Like, I don't particularly care for it. It's a lot of the young kids on there, and they make the experience bad for me. Yeah, so I have no interest in it, and that's why I don't play GTA 5 online. I can't stand it.
If you want my honest opinion, right now, even blind you, I know you play on Nintendo, and I think you have a PlayStation, right?
Yeah, it's a good DVD player.
He says good DVD. Damn, you still playing
DVDs anymore, man?
Yeah, I would say you can at least be buying Blu-rays. What?
So when it comes to Game of the Year right now, gun to your face, what is it?
When it comes to game of the what?
Game of the Year.
Oh, this year. Oh, wow.
You can't say Smash because that's including next year.
Yeah. Well, if I had to be like what I think would win, I'm going Red Dead Redemption. Personally, none of the games I would even consider putting as Game of the Year would even make it. So I think Red Dead walks.
What game? No, fuck everyone else's Game of the Year. What's your Game of the Year?
Yeah, I'm interested.
It would either be Celeste. I don't know if you guys played
Oh
that.
my god!
That's a good.
That is a great game. Hell yeah!
Actually, if you want,
Octopath.
You know what? You know what's actually a really good game that a lot of people slept on? Moonlight.
Don't sleep on it. Yeah,
I'm waiting for that to hit the Switch. I heard really good things about that.
It just hit it.
Okay, I'll pick that up.
Freaking hard.
That is by far, like, obviously God of War is a better game, but I probably had just as much fun with that game that I did God of War because it was enjoyable. Like, there was no bullshit about it. You did what you did. I think it was Rand that told me he didn't play Moonlight is because it had odd number gamers.
Yeah. You know, I think Erica said it best when she said this is the year of the kind of 2D platformer, 3D-ish platformers. They've come back this year because Celeste is a great freaking game. It's a great game.
Yeah, shout out to Rand. He knows what I'm talking about. It's a great game. That would probably be my game of the year, actually.
You guys are gonna get mad. I'm saying Odyssey.
I thought you meant Mario.
I'm not mad at that.
I like look. Red Dead's amazing. God of War's amazing. I'm enjoying both of them. I can't really speak if it's my game of the year right now because I haven't beat Red Dead. I'm like literally playing it like 2 or 3 hours a day right now. It's pathetic. But I'm off tomorrow, so I'm gonna play a lot tomorrow. But I have not enjoyed a game like Odyssey in years. Like, cause I really
feel that.
It was like because I'm coming from the perspective. You can ask Kid. I was so stubborn with Origins.
Yep.
Kid bought Origins. I played 30 minutes of it. It was like, this ain't Syndicate. This ain't the Assassin's Creed that I've been loving for 10 years. I'm out. And I literally uninstalled that bastard and never looked back. But
wow,
you know, playing Odyssey makes me want to go back and play Origins.
What made you? I'm just curious. What made you like Odyssey more than Origins? Was it the atmosphere, or were you war?
I think it was, you know, Greek mythology, the Spartan mythology. I think it, like, you know, I enjoyed.
Okay.
It's black, dude.
Oh my god! Why you always bring racist shit in here, man? Like,
yeah, I'm the total opposite.
First off, that main character, I don't even think he was black. He was
He's black, dude.
He's black. He's African. He's in the middle. He's in the, you know, what they call the Middle East, which is North Africa. He's black. But I'm the total opposite. Like, Origins to me resonated more with me because I love the Egyptian, you know, all the Egyptian history. Like,
I didn't get.
And I'm the total opposite. Like, I'm just like, I don't care about Greek history. I've read enough and heard enough about it, and that's why I kind of just avoided it.
One of the other things is I think the story didn't hit me as quick. Like, the story of Odyssey picked me up way quicker. I played like 3 hours of Origins, and I didn't really get into the story at all. Like, you play the first couple missions of Odyssey, you're like, yo, what's going on? Like, yeah, it's a good game. And, you know, I know a lot of people don't like it because of the microtransactions, justified. But, you know, when you look at it from a perspective of enjoy factor, the game itself, it is a little bit grindy. Don't let Kiss Smooth lie to you. It was intentionally grindy, but at the end of the day, I still enjoyed the living shit out of that game. I still ain't beat it because of all, like, I dropped it a little bit to play Red Dead, but I'm low key like Red Dead's cool and all, but it's like I said, like I have like a weird mind. I'll sit there. I'm okay. I need to go over here, start this mission. Before I get from point A to that mission, I've killed 6 people, robbed 9 people, like, and then before you know it, I'm running for people because I have a bounty, and then I go back to okay, I need to go do this mission, and then it happens again.
Yeah, like that's the thing is, and that's the reason why like I enjoyed Assassin's Creed a lot. I'm not done with it. I plan to beat it this week. So hopefully that gets done and then I can dive into Red Dead. But Assassin's Creed is in my game of the year nods for me, and I have no hesitation when saying that.
So
did you like
your top 5?
Oh, easily.
Okay.
Easily.
It seemed to me like you liked the Assassin's Creed from last year better because like you wouldn't shut up about that game when it came out.
Origins?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Origins was like
you kind of was on that game's dick
because it was like it was the first time I truly enjoyed an Assassin's Creed game, dude. So and like it I don't know, and it was like, yo, I've never played an Assassin's Creed this long. And I'm like, dude, and it was my game of the year last year over Horizon Zero Dawn.
It's a good, like, Horizon's a good game. I mean, not Horizon. Odyssey's a good game. God of War's a good game. Red Dead's a good game. I personally enjoyed Odyssey more at this point. Like I said, I didn't beat Red Dead, but like people be acting like, because I'm like, yo, Odyssey was my game of the year. They be acting like, yo, I said God of War's trash, repetitive bosses. That game, it don't even belong on the PlayStation library. Red Dead's trash too, you guys. The controls ruin the whole fucking game. That's literally what people on Twitter see when I say I like Odyssey more.
Oh yeah, it's because you're an Xbox fan too,
Yeah.
so they don't want to see you give a multi-plat game of the year instead of God of War. So
and people are like, "What about State of Decay, motherfucker? Did I bring up State of Decay?"
Yeah, it's like
everybody has their
like,
top. I would say their top 5 games.
It was a fun game, but it's not no game of the year contender. Let's be real.
No, it's not.
Like people, and what's funny is like people constantly keep bringing shit up, like that statement that Phil Spencer said, where he said single player games don't have the effect that they did 10 years ago. And like, and people keep bringing up, what about Red Dead? What about God of War? It's like, okay, so you keep bringing up like the 6 biggest games in history. Okay, like we're not talking. He's not talking about those games. He's talking about it's hard to monetize a game like Dying Light.
Yeah,
Dying Light, it did okay. Dishonored. And what kills me, Dishonored, Wolfenstein, the Evil Within
every
2.
Bethesda game, pretty much.
Yeah, and what's funny is Bethesda made a huge ass campaign last year about we're gonna save the single player games, and had 3 single player games flopped back to back. Now they're like, we doing Fallout 76, we doing Moses.
Yeah.
Like that just proves that it's not saying that single player games are dead, because they're not.
Because Wolfenstein was a critically acclaimed game, but that game just did not sell
At the end of the day, you can't come into the single player genre with a half-ass game. You can't. You have to come in there with grade A quality shit. At least Addict didn't say Shadow of Tomb Raider was his game of the year. Look, that's Kid Smooth. Okay.
Hey, shout out to Rant. I totally agree with that. Those are the 2 games I think it's gonna be. That's the battle this year. And I think
Red Dead's gonna win some clout.
I think the critics and just popularity. But I think the gamers that are playing the games out there, I think it's really God of War. But to me, I think both games are just really good and they're very well made. I think for me, it was God of War this year that really connected with me. But I'm enjoying Red Dead, and I can see if it gets game of the year, it wouldn't make me mad. I would say kudos to you because it deserves it.
I mean, they're both. I would say Red Dead is a little bit more like, how people start to quality what a game is next gen. Like I think Red Dead is more, what a game quality we're going to expect next gen than God of War, because I do feel like God of War is a great game, but Red Dead, like, it blows my mind how immersed you get in that universe. Like it just, I can't even, like, just shooting a motherfucker feels like I'm actually shooting someone. Like. And like 4 people rode up on horses because I guess they were trying to kill me for all the nonsense I've been doing. And let me
ask you this question. I got a quick question for you because you mentioned next gen, and I made this statement to somebody on Twitter, and they kind of agree with me to a certain extent. I think that God of War shows you that, wow, we didn't believe you could do this with this current technology. I think Red Dead shows you we need a next generation console. If you look at from the S all the way up to the X, with the pros I think that game shows you we're ready for next gen more than people think we are.
I don't know. Like when it comes to like,
I'm going based off the weakest version of it all the way up to the 4K version of it. That game shows you we need a next gen console. We're ready for it.
We
can't. This technology we have now is just not. It can't suffice anymore.
I got no issue with the S version.
If Red Dead is looking like it is on the X, and I haven't played, I'm sorry, on the S, and I haven't played it on the S. Imagine with what is it called, the Cyberpunk game, because that's supposed to be technically a current generation now game. I just think these games we're ready for next gen. We have to be ready for next gen.
All right, so since we going into that, you want to go ahead and use this to go into the XL topic about what to expect next gen? Because I have a feeling XL probably ain't gonna show us anything about next gen, but that perspective that next gen's coming around the corner.
Yeah, I'm praying for you, Xbox guys. If XO is trash, man, like
I think people are really not getting a proper expectation to XO. I think that it's going to be better than your average inside Xbox, but people are acting like E3 content. No, like we might get something that is E3 worthy, not something like. There's a difference between something being E3 worthy and being E3 closing.
I think Battletoads is as big as it gets.
Not E3 closing. I think that's E3 worthy. That could be on an E3 stage, but that's not what they would close the whole show with.
Once you said inside Xbox, I kind of just cringed because I was like, I haven't really seen I haven't seen an inside Xbox I really enjoyed. I hate their humor. I hate it's just so like
they need to stop all that nonsense. Like they really do.
Get the fake cartoon off there and get the old girl off there. Do what IGN's doing. Have because IGN apparently
I wish they would do.
They like clicks.
I wish they would do what Nintendo's doing with
that's what I was about.
Yes.
If they get quick, straight to the point, they can still put their their little spin on it. Have the funny shit. Just don't do as much of it.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from this XO. I've been seeing a lot of the rumors come out, and I'm gonna take it as I'll just sit there and watch it. If something comes out and surprise me, I'll give it a golf clap and say kudos to you. But I don't expect anything big to come out of this.
And that's a good point. Grand Cross, shout out to Grand Cross. Cross, not cross. It's gross. My biggest problem with inside Xbox is how they talk to you like you're a little kid, and I completely agree with you. They talk to you like these little, like, let's be real, there's probably a decent amount of people watching it that is in their early teens, but at the end of the day, the majority of both people watching this shit live is hardcore gamers. People probably in 20s and above.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. Now, do you think expectations tempered down a bit since they announced what to like pretty much?
I think people had their expectations set. To me, maybe it's just me. I had my expectations just set as just we'll see what happens. It maybe just like the because I didn't expect anything big. So I think people's expectations they put their expectations in check. I'll just say that.
Like, if I were to, what do you think? I just want to go around, including you, Blandry. What do you think the highest point that's realistic of an announcement that could be for XO?
Obsidian.
I think that's a given. I think there's a good chance that happens.
I think the highest point is going to be games. We're going to get games in Game Pass we didn't see coming.
You might.
Like what?
I think we're gonna get games. I can't really specify what games. I just think we're gonna. I'm thinking like when Fallout came, like when Fallout 4 came to Game Pass, everybody's like, "Holy crap, really?" So I think we're gonna see games, maybe not as new, but maybe some older games, maybe a Wolfenstein 2, maybe I don't know, because I just think we're gonna get games in Game Pass, and people are like, "Holy crap, they're giving us a crap load of games in Game Pass that we didn't think would make Game Pass," and I think that's gonna shock people. The amount of games that are kind of like relevant,
like third-party games. You think give me an example of what you would that would shock. Like,
let's just say, and if I name some that are already on there, forgive me. Let's just say, and I'm just gonna go off what I think.
Hold on, just real quick. He said Crackdown 3's release date's the highest caliber of it.
Hey, you know what? That might be true. But I was gonna say, like, I can see them saying, okay, here's our Wolfenstein 2, here's the Evil Within. A lot of the Bethesda stuff that didn't really do well, I can see them getting a lot of stuff because they're really cool. Bethesda. I can see Tomb Raider going in there, but I think if it does, I think we won't see it for a while because they're going to try to get those holiday sales knocked out. So if you're talking about the previous one, not this one, I think you may see like Assassin's Creed Origins, some of the games that like are kind of big, but they're kind of like you can still kind of have a conversation about them. I think they're going to get a call. I think they're going to get a Call of Duty in there. I really do.
I think Ashen is getting announced and released the same day.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
So if we get the announced, kid, we gotta co-op that game.
Yeah, definitely. I think a good Game Pass announcement, even though it lost some luster, but I think PUBG going to Game Pass being like, because what else?
PUBG gonna be there?
It's gonna be there. They're gonna talk about PUBG.
That list that he didn't bring up.
PUBG's there. Absolutely.
Yeah. It was in that. It was in that little thing that Xbox showed. Yeah, so it is gonna be. I don't like. At the end of the day, people could sit there that Frog obviously is not a big fan of PUBG, but at the end of the day, it's still played a lot on Steam. It's still one of the highest played games on Xbox. Like, I haven't played this shit in months because
I got a prediction to make. I predicted we will hear about PUBG. I predicted it will be crossplay with the PlayStation version.
Yep.
Low
key, Blandrew. Want your honest opinion? PUBG gets announced for the Switch. Are you coughing?
No way. I didn't even play Fortnite when they brought it to the Switch.
PUBG's not going to the Switch.
Oh, you know what's Tiger King? Shout out to Tiger King. He brought up a good point that Battlefield. You may see a Battlefield. Wait, aren't they giving away Battlefield? He's predicting that Battlefield. Yeah, and I'm like, I could see that, but I think they're giving it away. But with the whole Battlefield news, oh gosh.
You think we'll see any blast from the past IP from Microsoft there?
There's a huge rumor about Banjo. I don't think
Banjo.
Anything we might see that Banjo's in Game Pass or something like that.
I remember there was like a Perfect Dark thing, like treading around E3 at the time.
There's a rumor initiative pitched them was to make a Perfect Dark game. That's what they pitched the idea. Because supposedly what happened, I don't know how true it is. I only can go by what the dude told me that was told by someone else, that they did an interview with Gallagher, and they said, okay, obviously, probably 5-6 people for the job in the whole world. You know what I'm saying? It's like, impress me. And apparently, supposedly, he tossed them an idea to make a Perfect Dark, and he was hired on the spot.
Okay.
But that's probably not true. You know how shit gets exaggerated from what point A to point B. If they make a Perfect Dark, I don't really like the Tomb Raider games, but if they make a Perfect Dark and have that, those set pieces that was in Tomb Raider in Perfect Dark, I think it could be a smash hit.
Yeah, I think it could be big.
Didn't they say there was like a list of games not to expect at this thing too? Like, I think they said Gears 5 and
well, Halo's not going to be there. Gears isn't going to be there. The Fable project's not going to be there. A lot of people think Ninja Theory is going to announce something.
I hope at the very least we get concept art of what these developers are working on, like just the very least, because
I feel like when it comes, I know Phil Spencer's been burnt too many times with announcing games too early because he had to cancel like 4 of them. A lot of people like blaming Phil Spencer for that, but a lot of the games that really the games that are shit that have been shitting on Microsoft for years is every game that was announced before Phil Spencer took over. Crackdown was announced before he took over. Sea of Thieves, I think Sea of Thieves was too, wasn't it? Like
they were all decided.
State of Decay.
I don't feel like people were that mean to Sea of Thieves, like during its initial revealed.
Well,
No, everybody was excited to play it because we didn't really know what it was, and then when it came out, we like, wait a minute,
it was a No Man's Sky situation. Like everybody.
No, it was worse than No Man's Sky because there was really no progression. It was like,
no, I don't think.
No, I mean, as far as the initial people were looking forward to that game.
I think No Man's Sky is one of the worst possible games you can put in a scenario.
If you put No Man's Sky and Sea on side by side, I'll take No Man's Sky over Sea of Thieves any day.
But here's the thing: like No Man's Sky was lied about, like straight up lied about. They said that there was factions in the game. There were giant galaxy wars. Like they laid straight up lied about it. And
I own the game day one. There were factions. There were galaxy wars. I think people had a high expectation of that game.
But they didn't have high expectations. They said that the game completely worked a different way than it was. I mean, it was true because the Sean, whatever his name is, he literally left the internet because of it, because he knew he was about to
I mean, I think that there's some things in the game that people had a high expectation, and we kind of do that as gamers. We have an expectation. Like when CD Projekt Red releases their Cyberpunk, I hope people temper their expectations, kind of like with Red Dead. Temper your expectations until you get into your hand. Sea of Thieves, I'm not gonna lie, I expected a lot more.
Well, my cousin, I always use my cousin Sage as like, the casual gamer. He's the one that, he's the dude bro gamer. He loves Sea of Thieves. He said that it had he played like 5 days worth of Sea of Thieves, and he dropped it because he said it was fun playing with friends, but sooner or later, they're starting to drop really good content. He says he's been looking at it, but a lot of times when people leave a game, they don't come back.
I agree.
He likes State of Decay, but at the end of the day, he said that it just had too many bugs. Like I'm willing to bet if there was like an alternative line where State of Decay had no bugs that stopped the review process, it would have got like a 7.5 to 8, maybe probably in the 7.5 range, but. It took a huge hit because of the issues that the game had launching. Like, and plus, people want to keep there and saying that, they let something like Undead Labs and Rare, they like to say that Rare's trash, that they can't make a good game. But there's a lot of people that enjoyed Sea of Thieves. One person does not accumulate to millions of people on a console. They like to say State of Decay is trash. But if you look on the Game Pass, these two games were one of the highest games being played on Game Pass.
I don't think Rare is trash. I just don't think Rare is the Rare we had from Nintendo.
No company's the company we had back then. People leave, people leave, people come back, people get switched out. Technically, if you want to get with Bungie, people want to keep saying, 343, they're not Bungie. 343 is like the majority of Bungie devs.
That's a lot of them.
After Destiny 1 launched,
yep.
Like they had a good 30% of their staff went back to 343.
Yeah.
Like Bungie, 343 is pretty much Bungie. It's just without the head people from Bungie. And a lot of people they want to keep saying, Bungie did this, Bungie did that. Bungie was not making no more Halo games. They weren't. They hated making the Halo. They didn't hate it. It was a passion. They liked it, but they wanted to make Destiny.
That's I was gonna say that's like you could say Respawn is mostly the Infinity Ward guys. Like a lot of those guys left and went to Respawn. A lot of those guys left.
But going back to X018, I hope you guys get like a really good roadmap from like 2019 to 2020. Like we already know what's coming out for Nintendo, and
I think that's a good thing that they should do. Have it like a roadmap that these people do with these games as a service game. Like pop up a timeline was like. You don't have to show us names. Be like 2020 were Fable that the game that 2019 we're estimating that Ninja Theory. And obviously you put at the end of that, none of these days are solid facts, but we want to give you a perspective of when you should expect these games.
Yeah, it's good for the community. It'll get people talking. Like I remember I think it was Sony, like they just announced games that didn't come out for years, but it kept that fan base at least talking about these games.
At the end of the day, people would rather
JPEGs
a game.
Yeah, basically.
People would rather a game. And you know what's funny? You bitch at Nintendo for doing it with Metroid, but you don't bitch at Bethesda for doing it for Elder Scrolls 5.
That's exactly what I remember. People were hyping up a bloody rope for the next From Software game.
Scrolls 6. And the part that blows my fucking mind is they literally said in the conference, Elder Scrolls 6 isn't coming out to that other whack ass game that we're making, so don't expect this till like 2024 or 25.
It's not coming out to the next generation.
Yeah,
And probably the end of next gen. If you want my honest opinion, we will not see Elder Scrolls 6 till probably the last 2 or 3 years of next gen.
That game will be epic.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to that whole Diablo thing, but I don't know.
People exaggerate.
Because didn't they announce a mobile Elder Scrolls game that?
I actually wanted to bring something up to you. Apparently, there's a lot of rumors that was at the last minute, like ripped out, like the last couple of weeks, it was ripped out of the of Bethesda, not Bethesda, of BlizzCon. Like I feel like when stuff like that's done, it's generally done because someone snatched the idea, someone snatched the right to premiere that game. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you think that might be at XO? Why didn't they show Diablo 4 at XO?
That would be cool.
That's not happening, but
I don't see it happening yet.
Well, I mean, like I have a feeling it's going to get announced somewhere. Maybe the Video Game Awards, something like that. Because normally when something's ripped out of a presentation like that, it's because someone has gave them money to show it at their event.
Yeah, you might just see something.
Like,
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Like at the end of the day, Diablo 4 has got a lot of clout. People will pay for that kind of stuff. Maybe it's not Microsoft. I can see because Blizzard is not going to knowingly take that out of their lineup when they've teased it, when they didn't get nothing in return.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My true thought about XO is expect just simple stuff. Expect something simple. The only big drop the mic moment that can keep fans like really waiting and anticipating into next year is we will show our next generation Xbox at E3 or next year. That will get people really talking, and I think that news could really excite people. There's them saying we're going to show it next year, or we're going to talk about it at E3 next year. I think that will get people interested. Okay, it gets the conversation back, because I don't really think they can show anything that's going to just kick the socks off people at this point. I think that next gen is where it's at. I think Microsoft will put all their eggs in one basket, and I think E3 next year will be bigger than the E3 this year was for Microsoft, because that's when next gen will come.
Microsoft is setting themselves up to have a game come out every 2 months.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Because a lot of these studios are making multiple games. Ninja Theory is. Playground's obviously making 2 games.
Wait, you're talking about first party games?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
Every 2 months? I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe
that's 5 games a year.
Maybe three first party games within a spread out year. Maybe 2 games at the max, but no.
Yeah, even Nintendo struggles with that. So
yeah, like that's
look, that's hard. Only 6 games a year. They've already launched 3 at the end of the year.
Well, how much did Sony drop? You had Shadow of the Colossus, God of War, Spider-Man,
in Detroit.
Detroit.
If you look at it, if you look at it from a standpoint, that's why they keep them. Why do you think they keep buying every, another platform? They buy another studio, because they want to keep people on this Game Pass business. They don't want you unsubscribing. The only way you do that, the ideal is dropping a game every month, but that's impossible.
Yeah,
that's
but
impossible.
If you buy you buy multiple studios, you have them work on 2 to 3 games. Probably ideal is 2 games at a time. And you start rotating them every year, it's possible.
Wait, give me a comparison of like the type of game you're talking about here.
I'm talking about a mixture of AA to AAA.
So like
no,
like you'll get like 2 or 3 AAAs, and the rest will be AAs.
So we're talking about like Forza Motorsport, Forza Horizon 4 quality games to Gears of War, Halo quality games.
Wait, is Lucky's Tale considered AA?
Yeah, sort of.
No, I'm not even trolling. I'm
like a single A shit, man.
I'm trying to get into the realm of
I feel like
Lucky Tales.
I feel like Lucky Tales hurt their brand more than it helped it. Like
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out like what you consider like double or triple A. Because I'm like, damn, like the Gears, the Halos, the
Well, at the
Forzas.
end of the day, they're
Like a
going to
God
want
of
to
War releasing for Xbox, like 3
But
or
see,
4 of those
no,
a year. That's
it's not that. I didn't say that. I said games in general. You're going to get your State of Decay quality games, your Sea of Thieves quality games. You're going to get your
Where'd he go?
go to the end of the year.
you're gonna get your little arcadey Battletoads game one
to
month.
fucking produce an Ashton. Like, look at Obsidian. Obsidian has a couple IPs themselves. They constantly they have PC shit too. Like they're Ninja Theory made one game with 20 people. Now they got 115.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this question, Addict. So when you say double A, triple A, I'm just trying to get clarification. Do you mean like the scale or the size of the game, or like the money put into it, the budget put behind it, or because like you said, Sea of Thieves and State of Decay, and I'm like, I'm just like, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm being real. I'm trying to really figure out what you mean.
Look, all I'm saying is if you have these studios working on multiple games, all it takes, it's like I said, Hellblade was made with 20 people.
Yeah.
And it was made in like, what, 3 years?
Yeah.
20 people. That's why they're getting these studios that actually have, experience doing this shit. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. Obviously not.
But but I guess my question is like, do you put Hellblade on? I don't put Hellblade on the same level as like Sea of Thieves and like State of Decay. I don't. Like that's way better.
I consider them all really games. Like, to be honest with you, I would if I were to put double A, triple A bullshit, I would consider Hellblade is in some kind of weird realm before double A and triple A.
Wow.
Like, Hellblade is a double A game though.
It's a double A game. It's a double A.
But I don't consider it a double A game. I do consider it slightly above a double A game. But it's not
the result of it seems like that, but the game itself, the budget and everything is not double A all the way.
Yeah. I think so Cuphead falls into double A as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a double A game.
That's the kind of quality games I'm telling. Like, get stuff like Ori. I mean, what's coming out next year? Here's the thing, but for years, Microsoft has launched like 4 to 5 games at the end of the year for like the last 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just spread them. You don't have to drop 4 at the last 3 months of the year. They're starting to do that. Crackdown's coming out in February.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a launch title for the X, but
the X, yeah.
But you get what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I get like Ori. I think is early.
I mean, the State of Decay came out at the beginning of the year. So did Sea of Thieves. Like, they're starting to balance that. How many games came out in the holiday for Xbox?
2. I think 1 or 2. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 1 or 2.
PUBG.
Forza.
Not PUBG. Forza Horizon. I'm sorry.
No, Forza.
Yeah, Horizon.
This year, yeah. I'm sorry, Forza. Yeah, that's it.
Their strongest game in the lineup for holiday. But all the rest, they're gonna get 3 years ago, State of Decay would have came out. That shit would have came out in October.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh, that would have been bad.
But see, Microsoft, and that's the reason their games are selling better. Like, people want to sit there and say, State of Decay is doing trash. Halo War 2 is doing trash. They don't keep continuously supporting games that are doing trash. Someone's fucking buying them. They gave, I talked to Aaron Greenberg when I was at FanFest the year before last. That's when they announced the Nightmare of Shadow, when the Flood was introduced back into the Halo universe for Halo Wars 2. And I asked him, I was like, is the reason that you guys, because this expansion wasn't planned at all. And I was like, man, because I at first I thought they were just using that to have a bridge between that and Halo 6. Because they didn't want to explain the Flood coming back. They wanted another game doing it. And I was like, does this mean, do we expect anything from, Halo Wars? Because I'm a huge Halo Wars fan. Aaron Greenberg straight looked at me and was like, Halo Wars did a lot better than we thought it did.
Do you think they do something like this, Game Addict, because they have Game Pass and because it's it's kind of a win-win situation
I think
for them?
Phil Spencer used Game Pass to get money. I think he used it as if we can pop out a good amount of exclusives every year and then fill it in with, these double A games that we can secure, these indies. I was like, what's better for, people always say, I don't understand how people make money. At the Xbox community, most of the time, what is the average sell of an exclusive? 1 to 2 million tops half the time.
Yeah, unless you're like Halo.
What is more beneficial to get you to keep your average dude that buys maybe 1 or 2 games a year for $60, or keeping him throughout the years paying $10 a month?
Yeah, I mean that's smarter. That's good. It's good business strategy. I'm not gonna lie.
What they want to do is they want to accommodate for 10 people. The 5 that's not going to buy. Okay, you're not going to buy our game.
Wait, sorry to interrupt, but shout out to the 87 people watching. Chat, do your thing. Hit the like button. All right.
But it's like, out of the 10 people, maybe 5 will buy the game. Their focus is, we don't want 5 to not buy anything. We're going to have the 5 that didn't buy, these games that weren't on Game Pass. Now they are on Game Pass. We're going to have them support it anyway because they want to play everything.
Which is like, which in retrospect is kind of like opposite of what Sony. Sony is saying, well, we'll come out with this game and it may not sell as well, but we still came. It took so many. For instance, like Last Guardian, that game eventually came out, and I think it sold like 2 million last time I looked. But that game, 2 million is not a lot for the time that game was in development. So I guess what you're saying is like it makes sense because they have Game Pass to kind of say, well, we can come out with this game if it's in Game Pass day one, we're gonna make money regardless of people going out there buy 3 million copies. We're gonna make money regardless.
Think about how many people,
Did we lose them? Wait, say that again. We lost you.
I said, think about throughout the year, how many people don't even buy Xbox exclusives? They're the people that just, like my cousin Sage downstairs. The dude don't buy none of that shit. He buys Call of Duty and PUBG. It's only 2 games he plays. But, they get him on Game Pass because he wants to play the Forzas. He don't want to buy it. He just wants to play it for a couple weeks and drop it. Think about how many months of the year that exclusives don't even come out.
Yeah.
Game Pass has to be. There was a report that came out and they showed all the
percentage
the subscription. Yeah, and so Game Pass, I'm pretty sure Microsoft looked and said we can make money looking at EA Access, and especially PlayStation Now. They said we can make money off of this.
EA Access said that EA said a couple years ago that EA Access put their financials way above expectations. Remember that shit? Like they said it was way above what they thought. And it boosted their digital sales. Like it's not going to be. It's not going to be easy. See, here's the thing: they took it from the perspective. Okay, we can't go out and get the big games on launch, but what we can do is throw our shit in launch because we can control that narrative. We don't have to pay anybody for that. We could just throw our shit on there. As we can see, people they buy the game any damn way. I don't know why. Shit makes no sense to me. If you have it on Game Pass, you're not going to play it in 2 months. Why don't you just play it on Game Pass? But they still buy the game anyway.
I mean, I agree with that because I'm actually playing Forza Horizon 4 in Game Pass, and I don't actually want to subscribe to Game Pass. I would just want to go out and buy the game because it's such a good quality game. Like I don't feel like I want to pay $9 a month. I want to play this game like continuously. This game is freaking phenomenal. So I just want to invest in it. I don't want to play it on Game Pass. I want
to point out the Shadow Spade. The same guy won't pay $10 a month because he's not playing. He's not going to play anything else. He'll be playing COD. I worked at Dish Network for about almost a year in like a couple months. You'd be surprised how many people, especially for $10, will be continuously every month resubscribing to that shit and completely forget.
It happens.
It happens in the hordes. People always subscribe to shit and forget. Always forget. It constantly comes out. Because you want to own the game. And that makes sense. People like to own the game, but to me, I feel like if you have a subscription service and you're playing it, like it'd be different if like they had a trial. I know people that have the fucking game, the subscription service, renew it every month and they still buy the game. It makes no fucking sense to me. Like,
yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I guess I'm the kind of guy when I look at a game and if it compels me if it's a really good game that compels me to want it, I'm just going to buy it. I'd rather not have the subscription model for me. I don't think it's anything wrong with it though. I think it's smart. And I've always said, if they can get great games in there, then Game Pass, and I think third-party games will help Game Pass be successful, and I think it's very successful. For me, I just want to see the quality of game. If the quality of games are going in there, I'm like, I don't want to play that. I'm not. If I don't want to buy it, then I'm not going to pay a monthly fee for it. And I own a lot of Xbox games, so for me, Game Pass doesn't work for me. But a game like Forza, and it sounds like crazy for me to say this. I'm like, that game feels like, why is this even in Game Pass? Like that game on its own, it stands on its own two legs. It's such a good game that there's some games I'm kind of like, damn, the next Halo is going to be in Game Pass, and it's probably going to be phenomenal. And same with Gears. And I'm like, those are games I kind of can feel like they could probably, maybe they should say, okay, maybe not every game goes in Game Pass, but if they're going to make money like that, it's hey, that's great for them.
So basically, you feel like elite tier games going into Game Pass kind of devalues the game or something?
To a certain extent, I think it does. Because like Forza,
well, I think right now that has a good point, especially when it comes to like I some of the best games I played this year have been $20.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, there is this standpoint that people feel like the money values how much fun they're supposed to have. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But you know, it's been that way for years. But I think, you know, the longer these subscription-based models are out, the less you'll see that stereotype happening because people are used to it by now. Once, you know, you have another good game like once Halo drops and it's in Game Pass, like ain't nobody gonna be thinking that shit anymore.
Yeah, Halo and Gears of War. Like Halo is a day one purchase for me. Gears is a day one purchase for me without Game Pass for me. But when you can tell somebody you can just pay $9 and you have access to a big game like that, that's a damn really good bargain.
And 9
that's
times
a
out of
great
10,
deal.
if someone goes through Game Pass, okay, what they're doing to combat the sales for Game Pass is they still want money for selling the game at launch. So like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give you this edition that gives you the game early. Before Game Pass. So all the losers that can't wait the 4 days, you're going to pick that shit up anyway. Like what's kid? Didn't we buy State of Decay? Like the
you know how many people I saw buying Gears of War 4 like for $80? Like I was like, holy crap, really? Just wait till because it's coming out in 4 days. They were like, no, I gotta have it.
Those
like,
people are going to be the people to buy it anyway because they want to play it before everyone else. And the people that are getting it for Game Pass, chances are won't go buy the game any damn way.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Erica, she probably wouldn't have played Forza without Game Pass.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
You know,
I totally
they got
agree.
her well, she got it on one of those sales for like $2. But you know, let's say another Horizon, she enjoyed Horizon. She might pick it up now because she got it from Game Pass and she enjoyed the game and she wants to play the game. But
do you feel
she's going to resubscribe the game?
Let me ask you this question. Do you feel like there are gamers out there who like when games like your Forzas, your Gran Turismo, I'm just naming games, not specifically in any console, your Marios, your Zelda, whatever. Don't you feel like there's a lot more games out there like when these big games come out and they're like, here's a sequel to this game, like they you know that market is there. For instance, like when you say here's our new Halo, like you're gonna have a huge market of people that are gonna buy it more than in a certain instances, maybe in the future, maybe Game Pass pick up, but I just kind of feel like you have a core group of people that are already invested in that game day one for $59 versus Game Pass, and I kind of feel like,
and I feel like at first people were going to you know, buy those games day one, but as time goes by and is more popular that Game Pass gets, people are going to be more open to just getting Game Pass for a month while they're spending $60. That's why they had that Ultimate Edition. So those people that are going to pick it up day one, that's not the day one for them. 4 days early is the day one for them.
So, but speaking of like Game Pass and shit like that, a report came out that I think on like The Verge that had like PS Now leading the subscription service models at 52% in revenue. I think EA Access and EA Origin was at 16%. I think Game Pass might have been at 15 or 16%. Any thoughts on that? On like those are any surprises there?
I think it kind of shows you that this has not been you know, it's like when you say like, you know, when people see something and it works, they kind of say, hey, we can just come out with this plan too, and we can kind of do it. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, you see some of the bigger studios, you know, your Ubisofts get into this whole thing. I can kind of see this. I just don't want to be paying a subscription for EA and a subscription for this and a subscription for, I don't want that. That's not what I want. You know. But I kind of see things. If they can make money off of it, then, you know, that's going to be good, you know. Because I'm looking at the graph that you're talking about. Yeah. And I think it makes money.
The part that blows my mind is people really trying to like, you know, shout out to J-Main, J-Man really tried to use the fact that, oh, you could get this for $100 a year on sales. I could get Game Pass for $30 for 6 months on sale. I get that logic, but at the same time, it's like you can never use sales. Like that's why I love when people try to make an Xbox One X capable machine as a console, as a PC, try to make something just as strong. They go straight for like the bottom bin. Like this is on sale. This is on sale. This is on sale. You got to go retail because that's the Xbox One X's is retail.
I know this is Planet Xbox, but do you think like Sony looks at these PS Now numbers and thinks they probably don't even need backwards compatibility for next generation?
If
they
you
can
want
just
my honest opinion,
easily, yeah.
Landry, I think that that's going to be their direction with next gen. I think
so too.
I don't think they're gonna have true backwards compatibility. I think they're gonna go that direction. We have PS5 games, but if you want, you can get PlayStation Now for backwards compatibility.
I think we'll probably see like a lot of these games, since they're 30 frames, go at remastered for 60. But I think the subscription service might be their way of doing backwards compatibility.
Because if you have a subscription service like that, why even have it if you have backwards compatibility? Like literally, the service itself contradicts it. Like it's not like Microsoft, because Microsoft's literally been openly from the start. It's like we're gonna have this at all times. I don't care what it is, where you're gonna have always access to your entire library. But where they don't have one would think in a perfect world, there's no way they're stupid enough not to have true backwards compatibility. But I think at the same time, I can totally see Sony be like, you got these amazing PS5 games that we've been breaking records with. And if you want to play the old shit, we got a service called PlayStation Now.
Yeah, see, I think the totally opposite. I think true backward compatibility on the PS5 with PS4 is going to happen regardless, because they've done so well this generation. Now, with the PS3 all the way back to the PS1, maybe a little bit different. I can see that being their PlayStation Now, their way of doing things. No, I mean, just in like PlayStation Now, maybe if they can emulate it. But I think that going forward with our next generation, I think you get a PS5 because they have compelling. I don't think they're remasters anymore. I don't think you get remasters anymore. We don't get any of that. If anything, you get this remastered, it's going to be something from PS3 or farther back. PS4 games and Xbox One games will not be remastered. They'll just look better on our next gen consoles. And I don't think we'll get any remasters from PS4 and Xbox One generation at all. We are.
I can almost bet money on that shit.
If we're talking about,
they're going to give you the God of War at 60 frames.
Hold on. When I'm talking about remasters, right? I'm talking about something like I think we'll get. Oh, here's God of War, and now you can play it at true 4K, and you can play it at a higher fidelity, but not a remaster, new box, new package. I don't think that's coming. I don't think. This generation, I don't see any game being remastered. And the reason I say that is because with the PS3 and going back to even the PS1, even the Xbox 360, I think a lot of these developers, their ambition for a lot of games, like say for instance, you may see a Mass Effect trilogy that's remastered or built from the ground up, remade, but I don't think you're going to see like, oh, here's a Mass Effect. I'm just throwing a game out there. Here's a Mass Effect Andromeda, true 4K, 6. No, nothing in the PS4, Xbox One generation. I don't think will be remastered. I think it'll be tuned to the PS5 and whatever the Xbox Scarlet can do. I don't think we'll see remasters though. I don't think you'll see that.
I think it's way too easy to sell those games.
I'm willing to put $20 that God of War comes out at 60 frames. True 4K, and it's going to have it's going to have a $39.99 price tag on that shit.
Remastered.
It's going to just be called God of War. They're going to resell you the same shit like they did The Last of Us. And I think the reason they're going to do that is because they know people are going to go out. I will buy God of War at 60.
Isn't The Last of Us on PS4 one of the best-selling games?
Yeah, it is. It's one of the best-selling games.
Not the best-selling game, but it's a great-selling game. But when you look at The Last of Us, you got to look where you came from you had the PS3 to the PS4. That's why I don't. People are thinking everything next gen is going to be leaps and bounds. I think it's going to be leaps and bounds in resolution and maybe frame rate, but I don't think it's going to be. Oh, we couldn't really. You're not going to get games in, like, for instance, God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn where they're like, oh, well, we got to remaster this from the ground. No, you're not getting this remastered game. You're going to get something that can play on your PS5 and your Scarlet, and they're just going to run better and they're going to look better for your PS4 and your Xbox One. I don't think you'll get a game for this.
It's not that easy.
I'll take your bet. I don't think you'll get a game I don't think you'll get a game from the PS4, Xbox One generation built on this current technology remastered. I don't think you'll see that.
I'll take that.
I think you'll see games that
I'm
look
willing
better.
to take that bet too. I'm willing to bet you in 2 years there's at least 4 games.
No, I'm willing to bet you the launch year that there'll be a remaster for PlayStation 4.
I'll bet you on that. I don't think. Look, because I guarantee.
Add him $20.
Look. Because it's 20 each, I just guarantee, like, because I'm pretty. My thing is, whenever we get the Last of Us,
easy money. Come in.
Whenever we get the Last of Us 2 announcement, right? Whenever we get the Last of Us 2, that's when you're gonna hear that PS5 and Last of Us 2 are gonna be close, right? I personally think that's gonna happen, right?
Oh yeah, that's.
But I also think that. I also think that those are gonna be. I think those are gonna be cross-gen games. Anything on the PS4. Going forward, you will be able to play on your PS5, just like your Scarlet, whatever you had on your Xbox One. But I think it will play better on your PS5, and it won't be remastered. It'll be a patch. It will not be a remaster that you're buying something. That's the remasters. The reason we have so many remasters this generation, as opposed to the same thing with last generation, is because the technology is so different. Like from going from PS3 to PS2. PS2 to PS3 to PS4, it's we gradually saw things get better and better. Next generation, what we're gonna see is both these consoles can do true 4K and they can do 60 or 30, depending on what the developer wants to do. But you're not gonna see God of War or Halo or anything like that get remastered. You won't see that. I don't think you'll see it. It'll just look better.
No, I can.
No, I'm just saying. I think it's way too easy to resell those games for millions of sales, man.
That is true.
I think it is easy, but I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll do it because for that matter,
there is literally people with backwards compatibility. They have the backwards compatibility on Xbox, and they still bought the remaster.
Yeah.
Well, you mean like so? For instance, like I guess
all the Darksiders people bought the remaster when they have the backwards compatibility on deck. They still bought the remaster. The industry knows if I give you something and say it's new, you will buy it.
But see what I'm saying? See, you proved my point. You said that, like, we're using Darksiders example. They had the remasters, but they still. What's the difference between the remaster on PS4 or Xbox One versus a 360 and the PS3? It wasn't just a patch. It wasn't just, we can just patch this game. It was, this game can play at true 1080p. It can run at true 60 frames. Like you playing your backward compatible stuff. They just can't just do that and then tune it in the game. With this generation going forward, you can just say, okay, we can get God of War to run at freaking 4K. We can get it to run at 60 frames on our PS5.
Microsoft has
it is that. It is that going from this generation to the next generation is that
Microsoft
easy.
has an entire division that does nothing but that.
You know what? I look at it differently, but I'll take the bet. I guarantee we will not see remasters, and quote me on this. We will not see.
What you doing with your 20?
Look, we will not see remasters from the PS4, Xbox One generation on PS5 and Xbox One Scarlet. You'll see
so
better.
No remasters at all.
I bet.
No, did you hear what I just said? No, see, I'm not trying to get pulled into your wording. I said this generation specifically, PS4, Xbox One, the games that come out in the PS4, Xbox One, you will not see those games remastered. You will see the games look and play better on your next gen hardware. They will not be remastered. So look at this. So I'll give you an example. So Horizon Zero Dawn is checkerboard 4K, 2160. Let's just say it runs in a PS5. It'll be able to run in native 4K, possibly 60 frames. That's all you're gonna get. You're gonna get
my thing is,
you're not gonna get that game with Horizon Zero Dawn remaster in a box, and here you go. It can run it. No,
that's what I'm talking about.
No, you will not see that. You will not see that.
I think we'll see that year one.
I've talked to developers, and they've straight up told me, like, when something's locked at 30 frames, they have to go back and do mad amounts of time to get it unlocked because it's built straight into the coding.
No, I mean, if that was the case, then PUBG would be like, because PUBG was 30, 60.
I mean, what kind of
4K?
If it was that easy, I feel like everything would be excellent.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, you won't see anything. PUBG didn't get remastered. I'm not PUBG. I'm sorry.
So you think no games will get remastered for PlayStation 5s?
No.
Really? Not even third parties.
Nope. Nope.
So not Final Fantasy.
Kid, jump on this.
Nope.
Oh my god, dude.
None of it. Everything that you're getting will be just like it is now. They'll say, "Oh, well, this game can be enhanced on your PS5."
Yo, Final Fantasy.
Dude, I guarantee PS3 games will be remastered for PS5.
No, see, okay, did you? Okay, see, now you're trying to. Hold on, wait, stop, time out, because now you just did I say PS3?
I heard the PS4, Xbox
No,
One.
I specifically said this generation PS4 and Xbox One. You going forward with anything that came out on a PS4 and Xbox One, you won't see those games.
All right, so Last of Us Part 2.
Nope, won't be remastered.
God of War, none of those would be.
God of War's definitely getting remastered.
Nope,
like there's no way around that shit.
All
right, let's make a bet on this one. I guarantee you, within the first 18 months of the PlayStation 5 life cycle, one of its 90 plus Metacritic games will be remastered for the PS5.
I'm in on that bet too.
I'm going not to remake everything on PS5.
No, I doubt it. You'll be able to play those games because it'll be back.
Hold on. Okay. So let's do this bet completely because I don't want no wording like you said, Frog. So your bet
right
said
now. PS3, and I'm like, wait a minute.
No, I was just giving you an example. That
I can see PS3 games.
I'm just giving you an example. Games all the way that predate from PS1 that was backwards compatible are still being brought over. PS1 games worked on.
Hold on, time out. This man said, hold on. Wait. Hold on, I gotta say something to him. This man said that patch will be a remaster. So you're telling me that Red Dead being patched?
Monetary value.
Now patch is not a remaster. It don't know what the hell is he talking about?
You would win that because a patch is not a remaster. A patch is just something that improves the.
I'm just like, come on, dude. Like
a remake is something that
remaster.
It's a new retail game that's the same game, pretty much. That is a remake.
Like, okay, Shadows of Colossus is a remake. It's not a remaster. It is a remake. So it's not a remaster. People don't even understand the term remaster. Like, come on, dude. Like, okay.
Basically, my definition is I'll be able to go to the store, pick up a game called Bloodborne, and it will have the PS5 logo on it. That's a remaster, right?
No. Yes. That's a remaster. That will not happen.
Okay, that will not happen.
I guarantee you'll be able to play Bloodborne on your PS5. It will run in native 4K, and it may run at 60, but you won't get remastered on.
Look, in a perfect world, that they could totally do that. But I think Sony CEO, we can do this for free, or we can launch this shit, rebrand, get about 10 million sold on it. Well, obviously that's exaggerated, but you get what I'm saying.
No,
I mean, it is okay. So
you may see me. Hey, $20. Yeah, I'll do $20 for each of you. That's $60. That's 20 for you, 20 for you. That's an indie game. So I just don't think we'll see it. Not even on the Xbox Scarlet. I don't think we'll see that. You know, and it's not like that. Like it's like, what more can they do? What more can they do to like Forza, Halo, Gears, or anything that's on the Xbox?
I don't think Xbox will remaster any of their first party games. No. Because they've already developed.
Third party. I don't see any third party saying, "Oh, we got to."
You know what is doing that.
Activision? Are you kidding me? Activision won't remake shit.
Let me tell you something.
Like Capcom is the king of that shit. Every generation's a Resident Evil 4.
You gotta understand something though, because this generation, last generation was so different. It's so dynamic, different. Like last generation, most of this stuff was running like 720p.
Yo, guess what? Capcom, EA, and Ubisoft, Activision, they don't give a damn about how these consoles ran or how they were developed. It was like they see an opportunity to resell you a game by just porting it. They're going to do it.
Yeah,
shit, Activision won't even enhance the bitch. They'll just
hey, you know what Activision to do? Activision is gonna say, "Damn, we still got people playing Overwatch, but now we can run it at 40K at a lock 60." That's the only difference you're gonna see in Overwatch. Maybe you're not gonna see Overwatch remastered on the PS5 and Xbox One.
Capcom released more remasters this gen than new games. Like,
but Capcom's games ran like ass on the 360 and the PS3 back in the day.
I don't even think it's necessarily that. I just think Capcom knows people will buy it.
Yeah.
And somebody said keep it first party, and we're just talking about first party. I still don't even see them remastering first party.
You can play literally like 6 generations of Resident Evil on a current console.
You can, but you know how much more can what can you do with.
It don't matter, man, because they're gonna be like, you know what? We gotta have Resident Evil 7 on PS5.
And you know what? But you gotta. Here's the thought process. What resolution, what frames do Resident Evil run on the X and the Pro? Are the highest base system now? They're just going to increase that resolution and they're going to make it a more stable frame rate. It won't be a remaster. I'm telling you guys.
If they
won't see this,
wait. Now let's be careful with the words. Now, are you going by from a technical perspective or how they resell it to you? Because if regardless of what they do to the game, they're going to resell it as a remaster.
Time out. What I'm saying is, let's just say, in all intents and purposes, both these consoles are backward compatible with their last generation. So Xbox Scarlet is backward compatible with all Xbox One, 360, blah, blah, blah. And then PS5 is backward compatible with PS4 and then their PlayStation Now garbage, right? So let's just say Resident Evil 7, they're like, oh, you can, it's one of the games we know we can play on the current PS5 and Xbox Scarlet. Damn, it's backward compatible. Great. And then you'll get a patch when you put it in your system. And it'll say, well, this is a 4K patch. It can do 4K textures now, 4K assets, and it can run at 60 frames. But it will not say, oh, remastered Resident Evil 7. It's not going to say that. No.
All right, so we'll go ahead and lock it down right now.
I'm locking this down. This is too easy.
PX65, if they make any game that's on the PS4 or the Xbox One library and remake it and rebrand it and resell it to you on the PS5, will we
remastered?
Yeah, if they bring it back over.
Now, you guys said the first year. Smooth said first 18 months. What are we going with?
I'll say 18 months. I'll say 18 months.
First year.
I think first year.
That's Blandrews. Okay, that's it.
We're doing first year, first 18 months. I mean, the first year, did we get, let's say in the first year, did we get any remasters on the PS4? I think we did.
Yeah, we got Injustice, we got Sleeping Dogs.
Right,
you got The Last of Us, you got everything.
Final Fantasy 10.
Yeah, you got a lot of those, right? Okay. So
Final Fantasy 10 was on the. Oh my god. Okay, let's just lock this down. Okay.
Journey.
So that's any game at all. We'll lock it down. We'll come back to this when it happens.
When the new consoles come out, yeah.
Planet Xbox 65. All right.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see a lot of enhanced games, but you won't see it remastered.
Come on, man. Nope. Nah. We're gonna see some remasters, bro. All right,
I guarantee you in the first 6 months we're gonna see a remaster.
It's gonna launch with a remaster too.
Yeah, it probably is gonna launch.
I can't wait. What game do you think is gonna be remastered?
Uncharted, one of those games.
Nah, that'd be enhanced.
I think God of War is there.
That'd be enhanced.
God of War easy is there in the first 2.
That game is running checkerboard 4K and it can hit 30. So the only
it doesn't even matter, bro.
It doesn't matter.
They won't remaster that game.
How much you guys want to bet that next year at E3 they announce Bloodborne 2 is coming out in the first year of the PS5, and at launch, Bloodborne remake's coming out.
Remaster.
I said they're gonna do a Bloodborne Enhanced Edition. That's what they're gonna do. It's gonna be an Enhanced Edition.
Yeah, see, you might.
That's a remaster.
That's not a remaster. If they're just giving you a patch, they just put the patch in the game
at retail with it on a PlayStation 5 disc.
No, if you already own the game and you can get the patch for it, it is not a remaster.
Talking about it's like the backwards compatible thing, like the Xbox Enhanced.
Question
from the game, you get
now
it.
Even an extra question.
I'm trying to make sure we're clear on the wording here.
No, I agree. It needs to be clear. I agree. It needs to be clear.
I want to make sure we're clear.
What if they do this? What if they do this? Let's say if you have the game, sure, you get the free upgrade update, but they still, if you don't have the game, still sell it digitally and physically for you to buy.
Wait, why would you get an update for the PlayStation 5 if the game is in? Are we just assuming the PS5 is backwards compatible in this situation, or
I'm gonna assume that both consoles are backward compatible. They're not gonna resell you.
Well, here's the thing: like you put every game, and I think that's what you're gonna fail on. I think there's a good chance they do God of War and stuff. Well, but that's still maybe a 50-50. But you lose it because of Capcom. Capcom lost.
You might even see Street Fighter 5 hit the Xbox.
I wouldn't mind. I just think that we're gonna get. Let's assuming both these consoles, which I think for the most part, both consoles are going to be backward compatible. You're going to get enhanced patches to these games.
So basically, if PS5 isn't backwards compatible, you automatically lose.
Bro, you say
PS5 will be backwards compatible.
This, bro.
If PS5 if PS5 isn't backward compatible with the PS4 games, then I automatically lose. I'll say that.
Some of the 360 games
that won't happen.
that are out that are backwards compatible that has Xbox One X enhancements are also some of them already came out.
That's what I'm saying, man. There's a bunch.
They came out remastered as well.
Backwards compatible, and they still resold you the same day.
Yeah,
you're talking about a whole 360. Like I said, you're talking about a whole different generation. I'm
but
comparing this generation to the next generation. It's a different life cycle.
But backwards compatibility didn't stop Xbox One from getting these same games.
Look, kid, what he's saying is it's going to be more convenient, and you won't have a reason to do it, so they won't sell you the
Let me ask you
car.
this question.
That's what he's saying.
And
what I'm saying is these companies don't give two fucks. They know you'll pay for it, and that's why they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me ask you this question, because it may hurt some feelings, some Xbox guys' feelings, but if back compatible wasn't a thing on Xbox, it really wouldn't matter. That was just a kind of like a thing that just came and was like, oh, well, we're kind of not doing too well. We throw back compatibility. That's just a bonus perk for Xbox people, and I think it's great. I'm not taking anything, but the fact of the matter is those games are already in console, so back compatible wasn't there, but you had the remaster. So you're saying, well, people are going back and buying
people are buying it regardless if there's a backwards.
Well, they're stupid for buying it like that anyway, you know.
But it's not that they're stupid. They know that the industry knows you'll buy it. That's why they do it.
What I'm saying is, if I have a game I can play backward compatible on my Xbox, I'm not going to go buy a remastered edition.
You know what's funny?
I can't play The Last of Us on my PS4 at all.
I kind of want to low key. I kind of want to low key do a double or nothing. Like it's like if I predict the publisher. It's like I
tell you, we won't see and that's all I'm saying is we'll see games that are enhanced and they can look better and they get patched, but you won't see remasters. Not from this generation going forward.
I think the games that you're going to see this from, if you lose from this, it's going to be a Capcom game or a Square Enix game. It's going to be one of those.
And you know what?
I think Capcom or Activision.
I don't think Activision.
I don't think Activision. No. If I do lose,
they don't really remake a whole lot of shit.
I can see it possibly being a Capcom game.
Remasters that aren't remasters.
Nah, but Activision, what remasters have they done?
They released all their library, the Marvel Alliance,
a lot of those.
the Deadpool,
PS4.
Yeah,
they did Sleeping Dogs.
Those games,
right? Sleeping Dogs. They did. Yeah.
Do they even call them remasters? Like they're Marvel Ultimate Alliance games?
Yeah, if it's a
definitive edition,
bro.
Definitive edition.
The definitive edition. The definitive edition. Yeah.
Look, Blaine, aren't you glad I sent you a link? I just made you $20 in a year.
We'll see. I just think this generation.
We got one more subject to discuss.
The meaty one.
PUBG has been confirmed for the PlayStation 4 for December.
I'm mad happy about this, man.
You know why? Because I called this a year ago when the X came out. I called a lot of things about PUBG, but nobody listened to Pro.
Well, you guys didn't really think PUBG was going to stay exclusive, did you?
Hey, the Xbox.
My thing wasn't me thinking it should stay exclusive. It was me saying, if you're putting all this money into it, it better remain exclusive. Because the advertisement was getting to the point where it started to piss me off. Because I'm like, all right, you either better buy them or this better be like a lifelong exclusive, because there's no way you're putting money into this game for most of the time you're doing all this advertising. It's in game preview just for it to come on like the PlayStation like the next year or later. It officially hit full release in September for the Xbox One, after being in preview from December to like September, and then September it got like the official retail release. And now in December, 2 months later, well, next month now, it'll be available for PlayStation 4, which is like, all right, it is what it is, cool. But it's like, damn, now that I think about it, they did a whole heap of marketing and then goofy shit for this damn game, and it's like, for what?
Yeah, that's a waste. Like, I don't even know what the point of that
man.
I think. Wait, did you guys win MPD when they had PUBG?
No, I think Xbox landed in like number 2 or some shit like that, and PUBG landed in like the top 5 or some shit like that in sales.
Yeah, well then, yeah, it was a waste.
Man.
Thanks, balls move. I've been saying it the whole time.
Well, he's an Xbox gamer. Beta tested PUBG for PS4.
Look, let me
beta testing it on the PlayStation 4 too.
Let me say this, right? And this is why I think that
you got to the point everyone's beta testing this game. For like the next
no. I think I've said this before, and this is a year ago. I said this, and I said the same thing when PUBG was coming out. When they said, "Oh, it's going to be in preview," I said it kind of feel like with Xbox this generation with the preview program. There's a lot of games that come to preview, and then by the time these games are fully launched and fully shelled out, like kind of the bugs are kind of out, or to some extent, and like the game, when it finally comes to whatever competitor system, they kind of get the, I don't want to say definitive edition. They kind of get the version that kind of like, okay, this is what the game should have been, and then a year and a half ago,
that's because of game preview. Like they that's literally the whole
I
design.
think game preview. And I think that anything that goes in game preview, you shouldn't have to pay for. I personally that's my personal opinion.
Well, that's not the point of game preview, though. Like the whole point of game preview is to fund the game that you're passionate about while you're playing it.
Okay, now if it's the fun the game you're passionate about while you're playing,
that's the whole point of it. A lot of developers,
it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that. It kind of feels like it's a place, and it's just, here's a demo. Keep playing this and tell us what you think of our demo. You know, because a lot of games in game preview, I'm like, I think they're just not that great. Like, I remember when Ark Survival came out, I was like, this game is ass. And then it eventually came out to all platforms, but when it came out, it was kind of, it still was a little bit ass.
It came out on all platforms. Technically, it wasn't out of preview, but Sony, they actually paid to have that game ported to PlayStation sooner than it should have been, because that's how big it was getting on Xbox and PC.
Yeah, I mean,
PlayStation got their own version of Ark before it officially launched.
I just think that some of these game preview deals, I kind of look at it and say, I guess it helps, but if you're just given,
I don't like marketing deals or exclusive deals hidden behind game preview. It's kind of stupid. It shouldn't count as an exclusive at all, because by default it's a timed exclusive, because Xbox is the only console with a game preview program.
Yeah.
So when they advertise it, as like,
too, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about console. I said console.
Okay.
When you advertise, is it coming first to Xbox because or console exclusive, and it's just because during the duration of game preview, it's just a fucking waste, because any game is like, because it's not going to go anywhere during game preview other than PC. You know what I mean? So it's like, dude, like I would not put no marketing dollars.
I think
on
what it
game
was
preview. Like
last year, they had nothing to really promote it. And as much as people don't like PUBG, I'm sure Xbox
promoted that shit well too. Like,
but I'm sure they did sell some Xboxes because of that damn bundle.
It showed some consoles, but it was just like, to me, like I resent PUBG for this bullshit.
But before Fortnite did the 1-2 punch, PUBG was doing numbers last year. Like when Fortnite, when shit was south for Fortnite, when I knew shit was like, I knew it was over. Is when they did that Thanos shit. Fortnite, they got Thanos in Fortnite. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that, I don't know. I mean, you look at it, it's like, damn, who won this? Who was this more beneficial towards? Was it a benefit? If you had to do this bet once again, would you do it? Think about it, if you were in Microsoft position, right, last year or whatever, would you do it? But without everything remaining the same, like the status of your games, and like, is this a move you still do, knowing the outcome?
No,
I don't. I think it was worthless because it didn't really do anything for the X, and that's why I think that when I look at the Xbox One X, I think that they try to use that game as like that kind of Trojan game, say, look what the X can do, and I'm like, this is the wrong game to show it. This game doesn't run well, it doesn't play well on consoles. It just wasn't a game.
It could run at 20 frames instead of 15 like the base Xbox.
I don't think they ever promoted, for PUBG is like, this is the definitive reason to buy an X. It was just bundled with it. That's what everyone was playing.
I guess I look at it differently
at that point.
I'm just like, PC. See, that's the other thing. Here's okay. Let's just go back. That's the problem I have with PUBG on the Xbox, because they had PUBG for so long. Everybody's like, it was the game. It was the game. That game was never the game to be on consoles. It's always PC was attributed to most of its sales. All the talk came from PC, and Microsoft said, "Hey, this sounds like a good idea to bring this to console."
I mean, that game sold like 10 million on Xbox.
Yes, it did sell a lot. It remained in like the top 10 on NPDs for like 7 months, dude. Like
regardless if you feel like the game shouldn't have been on console, people were hardcore.
I'm not saying it shouldn't have been on console. I think it should have been better optimized and well performed. The fact that game came out was such a tragic mess as far as a game. Like, I can't think of a game that's more ass than that game. Like there's other games that because I'm like, how do you sell that game now on the competitor's console for $29 when you have games that far surpass it? Like that game is, and I said this a year ago. I don't know if you remember the podcast. I said a year ago, if PUBG is not optimized and it doesn't come out quicker and they don't do the patches and I said if it doesn't become multi-plat quicker and sooner, it will die. That game is going to die eventually. That game is just going to be something. It's going to be a Titanfall 1 where it was a great thing when it came out and it made a lot of sales, but are people really playing Titanfall? I can get on Titanfall 1 and maybe find a couple hundred people. That game is going to die.
I don't think the game is going to die. I just don't think it's going to do big on PlayStation now that Blackout's already out. Battlefield is going to be out. Fortnite's already out.
Let me put it to you in perspective right now. I'm looking right now at the top games played right now. There's more people playing PUBG than Overwatch. There's more people playing PUBG than World War II, which is, that's apparent. There's more people playing PUBG than Madden. There's more people playing PUBG than Assassin's Creed Odyssey, than For Honor, than Rocket League, than Forza Horizon 4, than Ark. It's still a popular game. It's just the competition is skying past it. It's like the Xbox narrative. Xbox can still do good. It's getting stopped by PlayStation, but it's still doing good.
Yeah,
it's doing good as on the core, but then a lot of the games you named aren't even in the same category as PUBG. So we're talking about
the top things people are playing, though. It doesn't matter. I mean, the competition is overall games that's on Xbox, and right now it's sitting at number 10.
Well, how much did Microsoft invest into that whole PUBG thing?
No one knows.
Okay.
No one will ever know.
Probably very few. They probably put a couple million to help bring the game over and do some marketing. That's probably as much as they did.
Yeah, I would have put that towards like custom consoles or something outside of that.
Yes. Totally agree.
What's funny? There's more people playing Fortnite than Red Dead right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad. Fortnite's a popular game and it's free. I mean, if Red Dead was free, you probably see. I mean, because we're talking about different things here. We got to look at the narrative too. Like the, PUBG is what, 29. Red Dead is $60. Fortnite is free. So there's a different narrative when it depends on if you're looking at putting this game against some of the big contenders out there, the Call of Duties, and it's not going to compete with it. It has similar battle royale modes that you're paying for. You're not going to be able to compete with it even at a cheaper price. You can't compete with it.
Well,
hard time competing.
All I'm saying is when it comes to a strict fun factor over fun factor over convenience, people always choose fun factor if it's high enough. Ark's still one of the highest played games. It's like 14. That game doesn't run at all. That game's a PowerPoint show.
Yeah, that game's horrible.
Way worse than PUBG, but still people are hardcore fucking with this game. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter what your opinions on it. People still love these games.
I mean, that's like saying I can wipe my ass with my hand, but I don't if I have tissue. I mean, I just don't get it.
Why?
You know what? Like, he can't admit that people still play this game. He's got to devalue anything.
I've never said that people don't play the game. I just think the game is not good. I've always said the game is not. I've been the main proponent that said this game is bad.
You're the minority of it in this thing, because there's
I am.
There's a huge, large base that play this game on the consistent.
Yeah.
Like every time I get on, fucking Rant's playing this shit. This Rant never gets off this shit when he's not.
Do you think this game gets discounted or becomes a free to play game or somehow competing against? So how does this game really resonate with a new audience and a new platform and remain there?
It's going to struggle. And if I see any PlayStation fan or fanboy playing this game, I'm going to be watching. I'm just going to be.
Okay, hold on. Let's do another bet. Let's do another $20 bet, Frog. Do you think I'm put $20 is going to be top 10 on the MPDs for PlayStation for the month?
For PlayStation,
so they don't got nothing coming out.
I think that's a bet. That's a possibility.
Well, come on, bet me, man. It's trash, man. No one wants to play this. It's not going to do good in another platform. Bet me this money.
Nah, that's a possibility. That's a strong possibility. Because like I said, people would rather wipe their ass with their hand than tissue. So that's a possibility.
Wait, is it getting?
I feel like
release,
PUBG. I think what's going to happen was I think it's going to go into like it's going to release on PlayStation in December and it's going to be in Game Pass in December as well. And I think that's going to be Microsoft.
I can see that.
I think that's going to be Xbox's trump card to combat that. You know, because technically they published the Xbox version. It should be in Game Pass. Like it should be in here.
I mean, there's a lot of shit that should be in Game Pass. It's not.
But Smooth, what do you got a problem with PlayStation guys enjoying PUBG?
All that shit that they were talking, like no, it's like they were that the PUBG became like
it's like the
joke.
Sunset Overdrive thing.
It's like
many people talk shit about Sunset,
but not be caught playing that game. It's like, well, why would you even dare touch that? Like, come on, you know what I mean? It's like. Like I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see any streams. I don't want to see any screenshots. It's like
this guy won't be buying it. You bet on that. Because I bought PUBG just to try it out on Xbox, and then when I got it, my wife was like, "Did you buy that game?"
I'm just curious to see one thing. I want to see the performance test. That's all I really want to see from digital.
Now that's gonna be bad.
If that shit happens, bro, I swear to God, if
1080p 30 locked.
if there is no performance issues on the PlayStation version, and now I will understand if there's an update day and date that comes out that finally patches out all the bullshit in the game. It's like, you know, like, oh wow, this is a very well optimized experience and it's running both like equivalent on both platforms, then I don't care. But if it's still like this experience on Xbox and it's actually a legitimate experience on PlayStation, bro, I swear to God, PUBG Corp and Bluehole should be sued. I will fucking put out a go like fund me for like not a GoFundMe for me, but for anybody that should lose their job working for them, because that is crazy.
I think it'll run in parity, man. I think it'll be in parity. I think it'll be similar.
I mean, I can imagine what the internet would do. Like, it wouldn't be a fun.
So
you'd have to log on for like a week.
I'm not even like a PUBG fan or anything like that. It's just like it was just like, yo, like how does that happen? Like, nah, that shit. Yeah, they need to do something, bro. Like they need to.
I got a question for you, Smooth. So I'm playing Red Dead on my PS4 Pro. Do you think it bothers me that you were playing it on your X at native 4K and I'm playing it at checkerboard at 4K on my PS4 Pro? It doesn't really bother me because the game is good.
But the problem is,
and it, you know,
one of the ammunition about PUBG being like on Xbox and people used it instead of it being like, oh, this cool, this is on Xbox, it was like, oh no, it's a shitty game. It's not as good as Fortnite.
I never care for the
Fortnite
game
plays like this. This game plays like trash. 15 frames per second on X. And they use it to shit on that Xbox One X, like the Xbox One X can't do anything because of PUBG. They think, oh, PUBG is the crowning achievement for the Xbox One X. It's like they literally nobody wants to talk about Xbox One X. It's like performance and power and stuff like that. Like Red Dead, they ignoring the bullshit, right? But when it came to PUBG, they were like, "Oh, you see, the X can't do this, X can't do that," and they were using the PUBG as a benchmark. And so that's the problem I'm going to have. That's what I'm going to see is that if the game even runs remotely good on PlayStation 4 Slim or PlayStation 4 Pro, I'm gonna have a problem.
I'm gonna snicker.
What kind of problem you gonna have, kid? What kind of problem? You gonna go like you gonna have like you gonna walk in and shoot people? Problem? You gonna be?
There'll definitely at least be a live stream.
Either be one or two things gonna happen.
The basketball theory. You gonna put the fuck out?
You know what? This is what I say about Smooth, and I agree. I do agree that it should run in parity and equal, because if it's on an X and it can't run in a stable mode, then I don't think it can run stable anywhere. So if it just happens to run better on, like, let's say the Pro or the base model, I just don't see how it should. I think it's gonna.
I don't even think this game can't necessarily run good on anything. I think the studio behind it,
poorly optimized.
That's what I meant. They're not wanting to make the shit run good on anything. I wouldn't say that they want the game to do bad, because they don't. But I think their priorities right now is to get as many suckers to buy the shit.
The problem with PUBG Corp and Bluehole, what happened was they were working on a game, right? And game preview itself, like on the PC, worked wonders for them. They saw all the millions and millions they were getting, that they were selling, and the game wasn't even done yet. Is that they got lazy. They was like, no, this is good. They stopped working. They got the money all up. They got the money too quick, and they stopped working. And it slowed down their pace because they were caught up in a success that they weren't really driving themselves to build up the game. They weren't driving themselves up to build up the game. And now when people started to catch on, like your Epic games with the Fortnites and the clones started coming out, then they had time to be like, oh, this is a lawsuit. Oh, we got a problem with this.
Oh, I mean, look who they're going against. They got money.
You know what I mean? Instead of just making the game better.
You think they didn't want that smoke with Epic? They didn't want that smoke with Epic.
I do think that, going off of the PUBG thing a little bit, I do think this is the first game that really justifies owning an X. Like, I see people like Kofi buying the shit on Xbox just to replay it on Xbox.
Whoa, wait. You said PUBG justifies owning an X. Wait, did you mean Red Dead?
Red Dead, yeah.
Okay. I'm about to say, wait a minute.
How would I'm sorry. PlayStation and Xbox One X with PUBG?
No, I just didn't hear how Red Dead got made into the conversation.
Yeah, it was my fault.
Yeah, me neither.
But I think that this is one of the first games because I don't have an X. I have no intentions on buying it, especially since we're coming so close to next gen. I'm just gonna wait for that next gen hardware. But I see a lot of people that are just like, Kofi bought the shit on PlayStation, played it was like some absurd amount of hours, like 20 hours. Then he bought it on Xbox, and he was on press start. He was like, I think I might just not. I think I might play it on Xbox. There was that big dude
from
IGN. He literally bought it on Xbox and then finished it on Xbox. He did another 20 hours to catch up to where he was because I guess it looks so good on the X.
I know the HDR is trash wherever you play it, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I think the game is good enough to be played anywhere. I know the S, when I saw it, I was like, it's still a good game, but damn, like, I wish it was running at a locked 1080p. I got another prediction for you. I got another prediction for you, since you like we can make predictions, and this be my last one. I would say buy an X because I proposed this, and me and Merc have had plenty of conversations about this, that your next gen Xbox going forward, if you have an X, you'll be able to play your games that are on your next gen Xbox on your X.
You think the Scarlet will play? The X will play Scarlet games?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So with the S, it's just not.
So with the S, but it won't look good. PlayStation is going to be like, you got it on the PS5 to play.
I don't think that's the plan anymore. They keep back rolling.
You think they switched it?
Yeah, they keep back rolling.
If the Scarlet is successful, you might even see Xbox games come off the PC. So I don't know.
So wait. Are we talking about like the games with what's it called, the program they had where they put them on
Play Anywhere.
So you think that the Play Anywhere may be a thing of the past?
No,
it could.
It won't, because Play Anywhere is only expanding to every device you're on. So no, I don't see that happening.
I thought Game Pass was expanding, not Play Everywhere. I thought
Game Pass is is going to be a form of Play Anywhere. That's all.
It's already on PC.
Yeah,
because I thought, to me, Game Pass I could see being, of course, everywhere, but Play Anywhere, I'm kind of like, okay. If
Scarlet was doing PlayStation 4 numbers, I think they would want to make that platform as enticing as possible, and I don't think they'd put games on PC.
I don't think Microsoft gives a fuck.
Yeah. I kind of agree to some degree.
At the end of the day, Sony puts more money into the gaming industry as far as putting it more strategically. Microsoft does exactly what Microsoft does always do. They buy shit and they throw absurd amounts of money on marketing. That's what they've done for years on anything they do.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons they fell at a lot of shit they do when it comes to opening into a market. I don't care what Phil Spencer says. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Halo, Xbox wouldn't be around right now.
Yeah, fair enough. But this is how I see it. I see Microsoft, them watching the industry, and they don't know where it's going to trend. So I feel like they're trying to position themselves to be any possible possible way that this industry could shift, whether it be streaming, whether it be going mobile, whether it be PC, whatever. They want to be there. And I think that's what the focus is. So I'm not afraid of the Xbox console going away or the streaming thing taking off. I feel like they're just trying to be anywhere where the industry can change. Like before, like they don't want to come up and get scooped up by a Google or Amazon to come and take over on some streaming bullshit.
I think what their plans is they want to be like the Apple when it comes to their products.
Yeah.
They want they want if you don't have to go out and buy just one. You can get the iPhone, you get the iPad, you can get the Mac, but they all work together.
Yeah.
So if the Xbox went away, Kids Move, you wouldn't feel some type of way?
No, if the Xbox went away, yes, I'd feel some type of way. But I said I don't believe the Xbox is going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If the Xbox went, I'd probably be fucking quit gaming, dude.
I think the branding to stay around, but it'd be a completely different way.
Start wearing the blue PlayStation.
Let's just end this podcast because Goku Black about to trigger me with this fucking Halo 5 sprinting bullshit. I don't want to get into this right now.
When they see people are funny to me about the people's Halo 5. Like somebody said something about, I wish Microsoft would have put the PUBG money into making a decent Halo game, and I'm like, so at 84 is bad. Like,
I think Halo
it's crazy. Like running in Halo made it a bad game. Sprinting in Halo made it a bad game.
They're like, we want it traditional, but then they're the same people that says we want boots on ground in Call of Duty.
Like, no, I think Halo progressively got better going forward, and you have to progressively do something different in your game. You can't keep it the same forever.
Why would you want to not sprint in a Halo game?
In a first-person shooter, period.
I'm sorry. People that say they don't want to sprint in a Halo game, they sucked at everything else but the BR and the fucking the pistol, and that's the only two guns they could use. And those mechanics that was put in the game, all they did was make those guns less relevant. Use way more shit in Halo 5, but most of these fuckers have never even played Halo 5 because they didn't like the sprint and when it was announced, so they didn't even buy it. Or if they did buy it, they didn't get used to sprinting in the game, so they didn't play it much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I have like 6 days in Halo 5. It's one of the best multiplayers I've played this gen.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But now you don't jump on that shit now. There's nothing but no life fuckers on there. You
are just all too good. Yeah, and they deter you.
Getting sniped from everywhere on the map, like you get wrecked on that now.
Yeah. Now I just go in there for just custom games.
I should buy the Master Chief Collection.
You want to play that, dude? Do you have the X Blanger?
No, I just have an S.
Then never mind.
Yeah, you got.
I still want to go.
Because Halo 2 and Halo 4 look so freaking good on that shit now. Oh my God.
It doesn't matter if the Halo 2 sprint is faster than Halo 5. The fact is, for main point, you only have one speed. That's why, once you learn that speed of people running away in Halo 2, you can accommodate your aiming to that speed at all times. When you can sprint at any point, you have to accommodate multiple different variables, and you can't just sit there and shoot someone because they have nowhere of cover. They have the Spartan dash. That's another thing that was put in there people didn't like. Because people didn't like the fact that they couldn't just 3-shot you with the BR before you can get somewhere.
I felt like they made, like, with all the changes, they balanced it so perfectly because it's not like you could fully take advantage of sprint. Like when you took advantage of sprint, your shield doesn't reach, like your health doesn't regenerate, and you can get shot out of and when you aim down sight, you get shot out of the motion. So it was like things there. It was like you could literally play the old school way if you wanted to. It's just that those other options that they added made the game feel more modern. I can't imagine having Halo 2 or Halo 3 release right today, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. No, people will be like, yo, you can't run? Like, that's crazy.
That's the part that just blows my mind. Like, I get it. Like, you like that old school shit, but like, you can't really do anything with the game if you literally keep it in the same section.
Yeah.
Now they're saying they want no sprinting and shit. If they wouldn't have done it and they literally made Halo 3 just like Halo 4, Halo 3 just like Halo 5, Halo 3 just like Halo 6, and it's the same game, they're going to be like, I'm just tired. I want something new. Do something new.
They'll do the Nintendo
I guarantee you, everyone in this comment section would say the same shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they'll call it a rehash like they do every Nintendo game.
We just got Halo. Halo hasn't changed in 10 years. Why is everyone buying this?
Absolutely. Yeah. But anyway, it's after 11 p.m. I want to thank a lot of you for watching. We peaked at like 106, 107, at least from what I saw. Depending on what time XO is on Eastern time, I may live stream for it. Otherwise, I may miss like the first hour. I don't know what time it is on like New York's time. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Bland. Wow, I'm about to say your name all fucked up. Bland Drew, thank you for showing up to episode 65 playing Xbox. Next time I'll have you on when we're like more prepared. But turned out to be a good episode. Anybody, you got an outro?
No, I'm good, but thanks for the $20, Frogs. I appreciate that.
This is gonna be great.
I do got something real quick. I don't know if anyone in the chat. There's a game called Felso Arbiter Mark. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. Probably not new. Maybe Blandrew's heard of the game. But anyone that really enjoyed the Final Fantasy Tactics, that they stopped making those type of games. When I was at PAX, they actually reached back out to me. I'm gonna put it in the comment section. But that game's pretty much like a spiritual successor to it, and it's really fun. So I figured I'd point that out to people if you wanted to go over there and check it out.
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting.
Frog?
This is Frog. I'm going to win the bet. I think this is going to be a very interesting. I look to next year.
We should put all that money together and just get fucked up.
hey, we could do that too. If you guys like you know what? I was about to say I'll see you a bottle of something, but I can't tell you I'm seeing a bottle. So yeah, I think I'm going to win the bet. Next generation next year is going to be good. I'm looking forward to the XO and seeing what they have to provide. If something is mind blowing, I can't wait to see Twitter explode over it. I'm really hoping that Microsoft can just give me something small. Hey, we're gonna announce our next gen console at next E3. Something small, like I know they're not, but I'm just saying that's the thing. I just want something.
Oh, we get a price drop for the X there. Too.
Oh, I think that's happening. That's gonna happen.
Are we gonna stream reactions? Like, what's going on?
I said depending on the time. If it takes place, does
anyone know when this fucking
Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday. Hold on, let me check real quick.
I'm not doing anything Saturday. I would love to just. Oh my gosh, I'm interested because I want to win. Shoot, after playing Forza Horizon on the X, I'm like, this game is just hands down. It's the best. Excuse my language. It's the best fucking racing game I've ever played. It's amazing.
Excuse my language now.
Look, I had to say it, man. This game. Look, I played a lot of Gran Turismo. I played a lot of racing. I like racing games. This is the best racing game I've ever played. This game is amazing. It is amazing.
I think they said it's 3 p.m. to 5.
Oh. I thought it was
and that's.
Hold on. Let me look.
I'm on the East Coast.
Fuck me up.
Oh yeah! Shout out to everybody who went out there and voted. Whatever your red or whatever.
Okay, so it's 4 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern.
Shit! All right, so I'll miss the first hour.
Ooh.
So you guys got to hold it down.
How about this, Ken? Since you're not going, because I think IOP is going to do a reaction. You want to jump in the reaction when you get home?
Bro, I'm probably gonna try to recap the first hour. But
my main car in Forza is the Audi. Anything Audi or anything Mercedes, BMW, because that's what I drive.
Goku, they know, I don't hate on you for not liking Halo 5. I just feel like people hate on Halo 5 for the wrong reasons. Most people didn't talk anything about the multiplayer. Any kind of criticism I see on Halo 5 is mainly on the single player, the story.
No, the multiplayer was amazing. The story was decent.
I'm getting out of here because Legends playing and it's on ESPN. So
I thought last year you was for another team. What happened?
LeBron James is not on that team anymore.
Oh God!
You can like just a person in sports, like
in basketball. Yes, you can. It's very welcoming. Yeah.
So what's that dude from the Patriots? What's that quarterback?
Tom Brady.
If he went to another team, would you go with him?
No, I would still be a Patriots fan. I would still like Tom Brady because he did wonders for the franchise. But I would still be a Patriots fan. But I still watched the Patriots when Tom Brady got injured in 2008.
You know what, Smooth? I'm kind of with you, because I like Jordan.
Going in the podcast.
I like Jordan as a basketball player, but I hate the Bulls. As a basketball player, I hated the Bulls.
Yeah. All right, though. Thank you guys. As always, Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We out of here. Peace.